Hey guys, what's going on? It's Corrupt back again with another great commentary. How are you guys doing? I hope you're doing well, even though I really can't hear you. But yeah, so this is just a gameplay that I got the other day on Dome. I'm not sure. Originally I was gonna decide to cut it off early because my final score was 50 and 10, and as you guys can clearly see, I start off the game very, very strong, but towards the end it starts to drop off. So it's a good gameplay up to a point, and then it just starts being average. Nothing special. I got panic knifed 2 times in a row at the end. I was very upset about that. So it is what it is. Hopefully you guys enjoyed though. Well, let's get into today's topic, and this is going to be a perk talk. Now, I did one of these at the very, very beginning of Modern Warfare 3. I talked about all the perks that I had tried out, my opinions of them, how good they were, and all that stuff. And it was great. People liked the video. They really expressed my opinions and a lot of the community's opinions about each perk. But as the game develops and stuff, their opinions of each perk change. While let's say, I don't know, just an example, it still is, but let's say Sleight of Hand was like the best perk on the day the game came out or the week the game came out. It might not be. Like later in the game, if people start using other perks or learn how to use other perks more effectively, that'd be great. And compared to another game, an example would be in Battlefield. I heard that when it first came out, the jets and whatnot were like completely impossible to use, but I've heard recently that they're actually pretty good now. So you guys, there's like a whole change in how all that works. So so this is gonna be a new perk talk for however months we are into the game. What is this? It's February. It came out in November, so it's November, December, January, February. So it's like 4 months into the game. What are our new, or at least my new opinions of all the perks? So let's start off with tier number 1, and I'm just going to go in order. So there's Recon, which everybody knows what it does. It explosive damage or flashbang stun damage. It paints the targets on the minimap, and bullet damage paints the target on the minimap when it's pro. Now, this perk, oh, my dog's barking. Hold on. Okay, well, bullet damage. The whole Recon in general is actually a really, really good perk. But it's so underused. People would rather use Sleight of Hand than it. And I can see why Sleight of Hand's actually really good. I was using Recon the other day, and I'm just so addicted to Sleight of Hand. It was actually really hard. But I always keep a class with Recon on it for maps like Dome, because Recon is such a good perk. It's like a Blackbird, and on smaller maps, you can paint like the whole team by chucking 2 flashbangs out, and you can do so well. And people don't realize that. People are under the impression that that like Sleight of Hand is the perk to use, and Recon, Blind Eye, Extreme Conditioning, they're just not worth it. So I actually would recommend you guys actually try Recon out. It's so useful. I might be using it in this game. I'm not sure. I actually think I am, but we'll see. Next is Sleight of Hand. I really don't even need to talk about this. It's the most used for perk 1. It's probably the best. The faster reloading means you can get into more gunfights faster, and you can finish your own gunfights faster if you run out of ammo in your clip. And the swap weapons faster, again, means finish up your gunfights faster, get into more gunfights faster by swapping to your secondary weapon faster. So, Sleight of Hand, very useful perk. Next up is Blind Eye. Pretty much you're undetectable by air support and sentries, and Blind Eye Pro is your launchers lock on quicker, and your bullet damage is higher on the air support. A great perk, great for stealth classes, great for search and destroy is what I actually like using it in, because it's very rare that somebody will get like a high level thing in search, like a Pred missile, or God forbid, like an AC-130 if they're doing really well. But if they do, Blind Eye, you can't even be seen by it, so it's less likely you'll actually get killed by it. So it's actually very useful, and of course, it's shooting down things, helps your team out. So next is Extreme Conditioning. You sprint for longer distances, you climb obstacles faster. This is your objective. Oh, I love that multi-kill. Montage in the making. I'm actually not working on a montage anymore, guys. I'm actually just chilling with the good old commentaries for a while. But anyway, Extreme Conditioning, it's great for objective, it's great rushing. My dog's barking, quiet. But it's great for rushers, it's great in general, it's a good perk. Those people that like to run around a lot like me, it's great. I love using it with submachine guns. Sometimes it's hard to not use Sleight of Hand, but if you're using a submachine gun, why not? I also use this on LMGs from time to time, but usually I stick with Sleight of Hand. Finally, Scavenger. Scavenger isn't a perk I actually use on the first, you know, I really don't use it that much, but I love using it as the first thing I get in, for Specialist bonus. And that's because, usually when I'm using Specialist bonus, I'm going for a Moab, and 24 kills, you probably can't get that with your starting ammo. But, I've been thinking about it recently, and I'm actually thinking about, you know, Scavenger Pro, you start off with extra magazines, but if you get Scavenger from the, oh yeah, I am using Recon, by the way, I just noticed. But if you get Scavenger from your Specialist thing, you don't get, like, it doesn't double your magazines, whatever you happen to have in your clip. It just, you know, lets you start resupplying. So I was thinking, you know, if I'm using Sleight of Hand, why not run Scavenger first and have Sleight of Hand be my first thing to get? It's an idea. Just thinking about it. It's a great perk, though, you know. Lets you stay alive longer. So that's tier 1. Let's go into tier 2. Quick Draw is pretty much the sniper perk. Well, actually, I use Assassin on my sniper because I use the Barrett 50 cal, but, you know, for those bolt actions, Quick Draw, Quick Scopers, you know, Quick Draw is the perk to use. It's also great for offensive players and people that just want to be accurate. Quick Draw is the accuracy perk. If you can live without Quick Draw, you'll find yourself a lot better because things like Blast Shield, Hardline, and Assassin, they're all better as far as the beneficiary to stay alive longer, while Quick Draw, that helps you, like, win your gunfights directly. But, like, Blast Shield, that'll help you from getting naded, while Quick Draw, you know, if a nade hits you, it hits you, you know, what can you do about it? But yeah, so if you guys have trouble with accuracy, I would recommend you throw on Quick Draw. Maybe use Specialist and grab Assassin as your next perk, but, you know, that's up to you guys. Alright, so next is Blast Shield. This thing, it's a beautiful perk. I love running it on maps like Dome, especially. Things where I always have a class made with Blast Shield, because if you guys are ever in a situation where the enemies are just chucking lots of flashes, stuns, and nades, put on Blast Shield, you'll do great. It literally is like the juggernaut of grenades, so, you know, you can do really well. And my dog is just barking and barking and barking. Just shut up, dog. You're not trapped in here. But yeah, so Blast Shield, great perk. Really, I would highly recommend it. So next is Hardline. This is another great perk. You know, it lets you get a couple extra kill streaks. You know, every 2 assists count as a kill when you got Hardline Pro. Fantastic idea. That was a great idea on Infinity Ward part. I love running this with Specialists, so I can pick up Assassin right away. It's a good idea. I would rather run Assassin, though. This next brings us into Assassin. That's my perk 2, tier 2 perk of choice. It's pretty much, you know, overpowered. Not overused, though. I find a lot more people like Hardline and Blast Shield and Quick Draw because that's what the most YouTubers use, but you'll find I pretty much always use Assassin. Mainly just because you know, you're immune to the counter UAV and the EMP. You're undetectable by UAVs, portable radars, thermal, and heartbeat sensors. It's just like they're never gonna find you if you're rocking Assassin. And especially on shotgun classes, I love running Assassin because it makes it so much harder for people. Like, you can flank so much better with Assassin. It's a great perk. Overkill I'm not going to even talk about. I really find it to be not useful. I find that you really only need one primary weapon. The only time I'd ever use Overkill is maybe on a sniper class, but I would rather use Quick Draw or Assassin on snipers. Finally, perk tier 3. The main ones are going to be Marksman, Stalker, Steady Aim, and if you guys run with a headset like me, Dead Silence is going to be useful. But yeah, so I'll actually start with Dead Silence and Sit Rep because those aren't that useful. Dead Silence only if you're using a headset, or if you're playing Search, I would recommend it. There's my first panic knife. It's really not that useful, although it does reduce the effects of Recon, but still not that great. Next would be Sit Rep. Again, not that useful. Not as many people use Bouncing Betties and Claymores as you'd expect, so, you know, one death by those isn't that bad. Steady Aim is the one that I personally prefer to use. You guys see me, I play so offensively that Steady Aim is just necessary. Your weapon's ready faster when sprinting. It's great for some machine gun classes. The last two, Marksman and Stalker, you guys can alternate those how you want with assault rifles. That's how I use them. Marksman I use on snipers also. But those are really good for assault rifle classes. It really depends on your playstyle with the assault rifles, though. Offensive play, use Stalker. Defensive play, use Marksman. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this commentary. I know I kind of rushed it towards the end there. But if you did, give it a thumbs up. If not, leave a comment. Let me know why. Peace out, guys.